What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Coach Smook, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality. I'm glad to see you in here on the live show tonight. If you're post-live, fast forward to the 10-minute mark and you'll get to the call-in segment. But tonight, it's about the fans, just like it's supposed to be from the jump, man. We're going to talk college ball. We're going to talk hot topics, everything you want to get into. But before you get into it, I need you to go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and share the stream. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to 5K. Jump in the comments live if you can. Get on the phone line. It's all about you. We want to engage with you tonight here on the Coach Smook Network. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me and say it. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holla at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. Check, what's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.
What's up, bro?
Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide.
Now we should be back. Hey, chat, are we back? Let me know if y'all can hear your boy. Listen, I don't know how that got mixed up like that. Let me know if y'all got me. Y'all got me now? Let me know. We should be good now. We should be good now. Let me know, chat. Just hear music. Okay, bet. See, you want me to tell you why I messed up? Because I ain't got my producers in the back. But I was telling y'all, man, welcome in tonight. We just here. We here to react to the Alabama SEC Media Day. We got Kalen DeBoer, we got Xavier Brown, Bray Hubbard, Senior Bray Hubbard, Junior Xavier Brown, and Ryan Coleman Williams. That's crazy. That's crazy that we're saying that Ryan Williams is a junior in college right now, draft eligible junior at that. And then also same thing with Xavier Brown, who could arguably top 5 DB in the country, definitely can be the number 1 DB in the SEC right now. Arguably, we're going to get into these little clips and get to their interviews. Shout out to the University of Alabama for providing the footage. This is the official footage. If you want to go look at it, I can provide the link in the chat. But we're going to go ahead and dive into it. And then once we get done looking at Coach DeBoer's video, we're going to do a live call in. So as you come in, drop a comment, drop a like, drop a share. Let me know where you're watching from, and we'll get y'all into the show, man. We're going to open the phone lines too, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Here we go. Coach DeBoer, y'all.
In Birmingham, you've mentioned trying to up the physicality for the upcoming season. What does that process look like in the offseason, and how do you hope to see that play out in the fall?
Yeah, I think first of all, I want to say I think there's a lot of physicality within our team. I think there's just areas where it can be seen and felt more. And I think, again, a lot of it has to do with execution.
Roll Tide, everybody. Appreciate y'all for bringing in.
You know, right now, the things you're controlling are the bodies, right? The explosiveness, the strength that guys have. And that's where our guys are really, I think there's a part earlier in the season where or earlier in the winter where we were, kind of coming together with a lot of new faces and understanding, where we were truly at. And I think not only have we closed the gap, I think we've started to separate ourselves from what, at least a number standpoint, what that's supposed to look like and has looked like with past teams, whether it be here or just our experiences and understanding what teams look like across the country.
Front row.
Coach, WAFF Pensacola, Kalen DeBoer, the quarterback room, obviously the big question this offseason. How is it looking for you right now and just having that competition between those two guys?
Yeah, between Austin Mack and Keelan Russell, two guys that we have a lot of confidence in. They both have a lot of similarities. I think probably when you look at their effectiveness as a passer, I think things that they don't have are just the number of reps in game experiences. And so there's a lot of things that are similar about them. Their styles are going to be a little different, right? You got at least 6'6", and, Keelan's not short. He's 6'3". So they're both taller quarterbacks. Austin, probably a guy who knows the offense inside and out. We're trying to make sure he doesn't make it and overthink things. Not that he is, but just making sure that he keeps it simple, like he can, and execute play fast with his teammates. And Keelan, I think, has come a long ways. Him knowing, and he's made the comment, him knowing what he knows now compared to what he knew a year ago. And that's expected. That's expected from both ends of it and what you see in each guy.
Stay on the front row.
Hey, Coach Lindsey
Hey,
Bonner,
did y'all pick up what I was putting down?
Kind of backing off of that
Let me
first
see.
question
I'm gonna
about
turn that down for a
physicality.
second.
What do you say?
Do y'all understand? Like, there are some things for us that continue to follow this quarterback battle, and I have I can't say a supporter. I got a fair weather supporter, somebody that I talked to about Alabama football. They plugged in, I guess, or whatever. But you could tell when they don't really have a beat on something because we don't talk much. But as soon as they think they got a beat on something, that's when they hit me up. We've already discussed the quarterback battle and how I think it's going to play out in the fall. I do think Austin Mack will get the first nod, which is expected. He's the more senior guy. But the narratives that's continued to be reported and what I was able to evaluate throughout last year's fall camp, last year's spring camp, this year's spring camp, this year's season, the growth that you got to see from these guys during the season. One thing that's been consistent and steady about describing Keelan Russell is that there's a steady improvement. You can't hear in any of these coaches' evaluations of the quarterback position. You don't hear separation with Austin Mack. You've never heard that narrative at no point in time during this quarterback battle or competition. And when you have that, when Tyler Simpson, I keep calling him Tyler Simpson. When Ty Simpson was the presumed starter because he was the veteran guy, this, that, and the third, the storyline that was being made wasn't the fact that he separated and had the job outright and was just performing so well. The storyline was freshman Keelan Russell making a push for the job. And he was. We saw how the ones looked last year with Keelan Russell behind center, under center. So what's good? What's good, Feisty? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see Feisty in the chat. We appreciate y'all for pulling up over there on TikTok. My TikTok family tapping in. Appreciate y'all for pulling up, showing love. Hey, we reacting to SEC Media Day. We got Bama head coach Kalen DeBoer right now and we're reacting to it. Let's get back to it.
And maybe also to people that say Alabama's not the standard in the SEC anymore. What do you say to those people to silence them and say, we are still the standard here?
Well, I mean, for us and this team this year, we have to go out and we have to get the job done. We got to go out and prove it. I think you can look back to last year and you don't just accidentally win 7 out of 8 games in the league, go to a conference championship, win a playoff game on the road without having a resiliency of toughness, both mental and physical toughness about you. But we understand also that there's an expectation that is different at Alabama. And we signed up for that. We're all about that, and we want to continue to push to make sure that we reach the expectations that we have, first of all, internally, and I think that will help everyone else that is the diehards and our fan base appreciate what these guys are doing and what they're putting in, because they are definitely doing that. These are guys that have high character, that want it bad, that want to continue to carry on the tradition of the program here at Alabama.
Stay on the front row. Trevor Denton with Way 31 in Huntsville. Just where have you seen Ryan mature over the last 3 years since coming in as a 17-year-old freshman?
The maturity that he had when he came in far exceeded what I could have imagined. But I think the experiences.
What's up, MJ? Good to see you in the chat, man.
Are what have led him to being able to take the next steps. It's easy when it's going well, but when you have some adversity, and especially when you're highlighted like he is, there's just, we're all human.
Yeah, I hear it better
and,
now.
Him being able to stay strong, continue to focus on what he needs to improve on, but what he can control is just so impressive. And, one thing that he's just been able to do this year that it wasn't because he wasn't trying to do a year ago, but between being healthier this year in the off season and also understanding his body better, and actually a year older too. He's put on some weight, and I think that's helped, in a lot of different ways. I think helps with your confidence, helps with your ability to move, your ability to, I think it's going to help with his ability out there in the field from a physicality standpoint too. And so he's just worked extremely hard. He's been as locked in as you could ever imagine. I hope our people appreciate that about him, because there are a lot of eyeballs on him. He signed up for it. He's great with it. He embraces it. He gives them everything he has to his teammates. He gives everything he has to the people that he comes in contact with. I love the guy. I'm so glad he's on our side.
Hey, so let's talk about it. We know Ryan Williams is going to be a hot topic going into the season. A lot of fans expecting Ryan Williams to make a splash in this year's season. There's been a lot of hype, heightened expectations around Ryan Williams since he arrived on the scene as a 10th grader. When he first started getting college offers as a 10th grader, and he was being rated as the #1 player in his class as a 10th grader, then reclassified, and still ended up being a top 5 player once he reclassified. I think he was the #1 receiver still in that class, and was the #4 player, the #2 overall player in the 2025 signing class. Wait, that was the 2024 class. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy to see these things transpiring. And this is the storyline about Ryan Williams staying healthy, right? Another level of focus with all the hype and all the anticipation for his career. I knew that he would be a focal point for Kalen DeBoer to come. And let's be honest, Kalen DeBoer has not disguised any of his statements or his evaluations or takes on Alabama since he's been the head coach. I don't think he's sugarcoated anything. I don't think he's tried to be politically correct. I think he's done everything in a manner to protect the program and the players that are represented, right? And that doesn't cause for what they call what is it called when you trying to play cautious. You don't have to play cautious when you're honest and your intent is to produce the best product possible, especially as a head coach with a record and a resume of winning like Kalen DeBoer. So it's someone who knows how to coach winning. He's just trying to get young men to buy into his way of learning how to do it, right? And this is a coach that is very player-led, player-oriented, wants his team's player-led. So to hear that Ryan Williams was stepping up, not just doing the things in front of the podium, but doing the things in the recovery room, in the weight room. And you can see it. Everybody was looking at him during the spring ball. It looked like he was solid 180, 185 pounds. Not anything scary, but definitely looks a lot more durable. But the main thing with Ryan Williams is how will he be featured in this year's scheme? Because when you look at the roster, and we did get some breaking news that Noah Rogers will be available by week 6, week 7 of the season. Some are, I've even talked with some others, and we might see Noah Rogers by a Georgia game. May not be a full-time starter, but we will see him practicing in the season. And, you know, that could be huge. You're talking about a 9-conference game schedule. Week 6, we should be, I think we'll be 3 conference games in by then. Kentucky, Texas A&M, and Georgia, I believe, will be those. No, it's either Mississippi State and Georgia, South Carolina and Georgia. It's 3 of them by week 6, week 7 will be in that mode. So, yeah, that's just something to consider with Ryan Williams having to kind of expecting him to step up and be the guy while, you know, Noah Rogers is down. You got a lot of young guys that surround you. Rico Scott is going to be another veteran presence. Derek Meadows is going to be a young presence that hasn't had the opportunity to be, you know, as impactful. But we saw how many reps he was getting early on in the season before his injury. So it's a lot to speculate with Ryan Williams coming into this 2026 season. Let's finish with Kalen DeBoer real quick.
Coach Whitman Clark of Tide 100.9. It's safe to say with the run game, it is one part offensive line, one part running back. Which half of the run game have you seen the most improvement out of throughout spring ball?
I would say the most improvement. There's pieces to it. I think I would add in there the tight ends as well. I think can really change what your run game, or can help add to the change of your run game. And guys, Caleb Edwards, Marshall Pritchett, Josh Ford, guys like that who are a year older. Caleb was just coming to us a year ago and all of a sudden gets thrown on the football field, took some reps all season long. But Marshall understands things, and his physicality is greater. Josh brings that demeanor. Getting back to your question, I would say, you know, all of our running backs haven't had a chance to take those reps, mainly due to just injury status that, you know, and EJ in particular. But there are certainly things like Daniel Hill, just body transformation because he's been healthier this offseason.
Yeah.
Kevin Riley continuing to grow and get bigger. I think those areas have happened, but I would say that the offensive line is the area where I've seen, you know, just us improving. Again, we got to go out there and prove it. Our guys know that. But right now, all we can do is focus on where we're at, and that's the summer months. These guys putting in the work individually. We put the pads on here in just a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Hey, really quick, and I got to keep stopping it because I really just want to give everybody a chance. We didn't do a live show today. I was waiting for the official footage to be released so we can do our own reactions to SEC Media Day. As you all know, Ryan Fowler, 100.9, they're out there. Y'all give him a little shout out, man, a little round of applause, because Ryan Fowler, he's one of the guys in Bama media, and there's others that I kind of referenced today. My guy Henry Sklar, he's representing up there at SEC Media Day. But there's some guys that they provide good quality coverage, and when they ask questions or have conversations with staff members, players, whatever it is, they give great open-ended questions to allow detailed answers so that we can get a lot of answers and have clear, concise, I guess you could say, opinions on how things are kind of transpiring when it comes to the Crimson Tide. So when I talked about the run game, we talked about how much better the facelift, the offensive line facelift. Yeah, I remember the main thing that we were just talking about with the tight ends in this year's scheme. I think they specifically went out and got Josh Ford to kind of solidify a solid 3-man rotation in that tight end room to open up the run game. But not just for that. The guys that he named, we saw Caleb Edwards make some big catches last year. We saw Marshall Pritchett make some tough catches last year. I don't know if y'all remember the catch. I forget what game it was, but it looked like it was thrown and it hit the ground. But he actually had it. He actually caught it and was able to scoop it up. Being up, when you're talking about somebody that's 6'6", 255 pounds, 250 pounds, being limber like that, pick it up and was able to gain some yards and put us in a position to go for it on 4th down and actually convert. So you got some guys that are skilled with their hands, but Josh Ford in run blocking, Clint Lamb, Brooks, Austin Brooks, is it Austin Brooks? Brooks Austin over at the Film Guy Network. They've already talked about Josh Ford and his skill set. And we talked about his ability to come in and be a true archetype for H-back. And what you see out of him is kind of what you saw out of Jay Lindsey out of last year. What they tried to get out of Robbie Oots his last year, the first year under Kalen DeBoer. And you saw kind of Josh Cuevas have both edges of the dynamic, both ends of the dynamic when it comes to the tight end H-back position. So you see Alabama, when we talk about, we ask why they got so many tight ends on roster. Well, that's why, because they don't want to have the guy that's a multi-purpose. They don't want to have 6 multi-purpose guys. They want to have 2 or 3 specific guys that are keen in on run blocking, pass pro, all those things, can catch, but their skill set is keen on run blocking, pass blocking. You want 2 receiving assets, and you want 1 guy that can do both at a high level. And I think in this room right now, when you go and get Josh Ford, you get a guy that can do both at a high level, run block, pass pro, or all 3 at a high level, pass catching. And then with Caleb and Marshall, great pass catchers that are getting better in the run blocking. You got Jay Lindsey, you got Jack San Marco on the roster. You got other guys that really bring you the H-back field when you want the extra run blocking assets. And just in case you do some play action, slide action where you're chip blocking, rolling out, you got those tight ends that are great at run blocking that could slip out and give you 2 solid catches, be possession guys, get the rumbling, bumbling downfield. So let's finish Kalen DeBoer's interview. We got about 8 more minutes on this. I'm going to let it go all the way
Ryan
through.
Fowler, Tide 100.9 in Tuscaloosa.
My guy, Ryan.
We talk a lot about different positions, but I want to ask you to break down your special teams, kicker, punter, and return specialists.
Yeah, kicker between Talty and Lorcan Quinn. I know we have talented players, and I think and Connor is an extremely talented player. He just consistency at times, and again, he made, I think, the harder kicks at times throughout the year, which shows his ability level and also his ability from a mental standpoint to recover. And now he's just really honed in on making sure that he's more consistent and steady. Lorcan he's older. Can't say he's got more experience being in stadiums like he's going to face in the SEC. So I think that's going to be something that he'll have to work through. But both of them, I feel, have that ability, and we'll have one. A guy that can get the job done. The punter situation will be new. We got some guys between Adam Watford, Alex, and Anderson that are all guys that have legs that can get the job done. And then, from a long snapper standpoint, we have a good competition there and guys that are more than capable to get the job done.
Front row.
AP Stidham, AP as we see it. Coach, you mentioned quarterbacks are both capable. In your coaching conversations.
Listen to this.
Have you ever discussed playing 2 quarterbacks? And has that been something you may consider? And if not, why not?
I can't say that we've intentionally gone in. You've had injuries. You've had times where guys maybe during a season have at some point, maybe 5 weeks in, just there comes a point where, another guy, a change needs to happen. That happened one time. I think it's best done when you have one guy taking the snaps consistently. But I'm not gonna say that if we don't have a different way, that it was a failure and that it wasn't done and handled properly. I think we've done a great job. Doing what we can to track, to push, to evaluate, to teach at the same time, these guys. And so ideally, we want to have the same quarterback start to finish. I think from a leadership standpoint, it's more comfortable that way. Guys know what to expect, both the quarterback and the guys around him. But we'll see. We'll see what happens as we go through both fall camp and the season.
Listen, I want y'all to highlight a few things, and I need y'all to pay attention because there are some people, and shout out to the 20 in the chat on YouTube. I need y'all to run the lights up. Definitely need y'all to run the lights up for sure. We definitely doing a great job tonight. Appreciate y'all for hanging out late night with your boy Coach Smook. Let me do something real quick because we'll be here for a while. I don't have to be to the gym for like another hour, so and then we'll come back later tonight for the phone call segment. But or we might go live tomorrow morning. I don't know. I just want to get through all the interviews. All right, so we only got 8 likes on the stream. We got 20 people in the chat. Come on, y'all, hit that thumbs up button for your boy. Please. We don't beg. for money, but we definitely go beg for them likes. I want y'all to kind of I want to highlight a few things that was stated. One, I love the fact that there was a specific question about a 2 quarterback system, because I have some old heads that continue to want to debate with me and feel like that they have these like connections, right? And they really feel like that Alabama is going to have a package for Keelan Russell because Austin Mack will get the first snaps. Right now, I do think Austin Mack right now is slotted as QB1, right? If we was to play Saturday, Austin Mack would get the first snaps against Eastern Carolina. But I want y'all to continue to build on this narrative that I've been kind of leaning into, because it tells you the story of what the overall plan is. I do believe that without saying in so many words, there's more confidence in this offensive ceiling with Keelan Russell at the quarterback as the starting quarterback. I do believe that, but they also do not want to miss out on the opportunity that Austin Mack could jumpstart a new phase of the offense, also with his intel and his mental experience, his growth in the system, right? As it's transcended and it's changed, he's been a part of every phase of it since he's got into the collegiate ranks. So his understanding, his ability to interpret might be a slight bit faster, but what's not happening is not transitioning or is not processing and happening on the field at a consistent rate. See what Keelan Russell is doing, he's coming in and he's learning it, and as he's learning it, he's able to turn it over onto the field and get some quality production from it, right? You're seeing the growth consistently. But like I said, you have practice players and you have when the lights come on type players. I think Keelan Russell is just a different type of breed. I get to talk with a lot of staffers week in and week out. I'm personally close with some of the players, and when they talk about Russell's arm talent, they talk about the velocity and the different angles that he can release the ball in, and how hard it is to defend. Like, he throws perfect balls 9 times out of 10. And that's not hard to believe. I don't care you talking live or on air. When you can provide consistency like that, it's something to be marveled upon. So one statement we heard him say, he doesn't plan to. I mean, there's no directive to have a 2 QB system. For Shep and Brian and all them other guys that keep trying to tell me, nah, it's not going to happen. This is an offensive minded coach. No offensive minded coach wants to have 2 quarterbacks as a planned thing to do. I don't care what phase, package, whatever. You might have a trick play 1 or 2, but that's how many times you're going to call it in a season, right? We're not trying. Kalen DeBoer and his staff, they have too much talent in that quarterback room to try and say, hey, we only could get you to do this much. We're going to let you do this much, and then we're going to let this person. That it disrupts rhythm is not a successful path. I don't see it happening. And even for those that was like, I forget the debate that it wasn't really a debate. It was a take that my guy Jimmy Stein, great Alabama football coverage and great football mind. He presented the idea that Alabama would need both quarterbacks, and to me, that's and no disrespect, that's kind of a rhetorical statement, because I think you need everybody on the roster in order to have a successful season and compete for a national championship. But the statement was, in my mind, was insinuating that at some point in the season we would see a steady dose of 2 quarterbacks being utilized in order for us to win. And I don't think that's the case. I think you play the best guy, you win, and you always got to have your next guy ready, next man up mentality. So it's not that anybody was saying anything wrong. It was just the context of how it was being presented in the type of conversation that was being brought from it. But no 2 quarterback system. That's one thing that Kalen DeBoer said. They just don't plan to do that. But 2, he said the most times you want to see him, he's going to pick a guy. He wants to ride that guy from start to finish, right? He also mentioned that he's also had quarterback. We've seen him in the past mention that quarterback competitions have bled over into the season. Remember the Milroe and the Simpson competition? It bled over into like the week before kickoff, right? Everybody had the idea that it was Milroe, but Simpson was making his surge until the second scrimmage of fall camp, and he just fell off. Now, could the same be done with Russell, the guy that everybody thinks is ready? He's been waiting his turn. He's the guy. He can be the passer that we need, all of that. That's what we thought about Simpson coming off of Milroe's year of taking us, winning the SEC championship, going to the playoffs, and losing to the eventual national champ. We were ready to replace him with a guy that wasn't proven. Well, the difference between that situation and this situation now, you got a situation where neither quarterback is proven. All you can see is what they've been able to show you. And when we talk about what they've been able to show us, show me what Austin Mack has shown you that Keelan Russell hasn't shown you. The snaps, even in pickup garbage time in last season, the production, right? Averages, passes, touchdowns, right? It's virtually similar. And Mack had a lot more snaps. When you think about him coming in the Indiana game, he was the second string quarterback for the most part of the season. You look at how it's shaping up. Kalen DeBoer and his staff, they want to make a decision by week 5. They want to know who their guy is going to be by week 5. Now, he said traditionally by week 5 because if you think about it, when he was at Washington and Fresno State, you got 3 to 4 weeks of cupcake games, maybe one out-of-conference game that mattered, one marquee out-of-conference game. But for the most part, you got 3 cupcake games. This season with an extra conference game, right? And now with the extra conference game, and now you add in the expanded team playoff, people had to pad their schedules to make a more competitive schedule. That way, the strength of schedule competition question is out the window. If I'm looking at the schedule, and Kalen DeBoer just told us, and I want y'all to pay attention to these clues. Clip this. If I'm looking at the schedule, Kalen DeBoer said, if we need to make a change by week 5, what is week 5, y'all? We're looking at the schedule right now. Eastern Carolina week 1, week 2 is against Kentucky, week 3 is against Florida State, week 4 is against South Carolina, week 5 is against Mississippi State. Let's break that down real quick. And I'm gonna tell this storyline like I've been telling it, and y'all gonna start believing me and stop trying to hate when I have the. All right, I'm gonna tell it myself. I have conversations with people inside the building that really make decisions, that do analytics and talk about stats that happen in practice, throws at this level, this pass play, this. I have these conversations. Not saying I get that information, I get to see the stats, but I have these conversations with these people, and there's a strategic plan. This is what I perceive, right? This is what I perceive. This is what I got from it. This is the revelation that I got when I'm talking to all my people and all my friends, right? At the University of Alabama. I look at it and I say, Eastern Carolina, no matter which quarterback starts that game, they should be able to handle that game and handle it decisively, right? Kentucky, at Kentucky on the road, if I want to test a quarterback, I want to test a unproven quarterback, my first opportunity is going to be on the road. How do I do that? I start the guy that I felt like should be the starter. In my mind, Coach Smook, I'm going to give Austin Mack game 1, give him the comfortable situation. I'm going to find out if Keelan Russell can operate under the strenuous atmosphere of the SEC week 2 against Kentucky. If we're still having a competition going into week 2 of the season, that's how I do it. But I believe this staff, based off the past, and I could go back to Fresno State year 2, the year after COVID, they were having a quarterback competition. They had a quarterback situation going on. They started the same quarterback the first 2 weeks. They gave both quarterbacks a half in both 2 weeks. By the third game, you had an injury. Then this guy that was the second string ended up being the guy that ended up being the best option for Fresno State's offense that year. But I look at this schedule. You look at Kentucky. If you start Mack, he plays good. Then you still play Keelan in the second half. You still don't have a decisive. You don't decide who's the starter at that point yet, right? Because we haven't lost. There hasn't been a struggle. But the home game against Florida State, you can get some questions answered. Talented roster. They're going to be, kind of coming in on a high horse. They have a couple cupcake games leading up to us. Going to be a lot of anticipation for a lot of hype. Now, this is one of those games where you might see Mack and there's some film on him. Now you got a defensive coordinator and Tony White over at Florida State that is schemed up for him. And maybe he struggles this game and Keelan Russell comes in and has a smooth game. Right, so now you end that game with a win, Florida State over Florida State, and it's in large part. Now you can do some stat comparison. Both the quarterbacks stole 15 plus passes, 4 plus drives apiece. Who's the most proficient? What the offense looked like when these quarterbacks. Now you come into another game, a conference game, your first conference game at home. You gave Mack 2 big opportunities against Kentucky and Florida State. Now you're going to give Keelan Russell an opportunity to start at home. If he handles that decisively, You going into Mississippi State on the road, and we know how the atmosphere is. If I'm comparing the atmospheres of Mississippi State and Kentucky, I'm going to argue that Mississippi State atmosphere is a lot more hostile, right? I'm going to argue. And then the talent on roster is similar. So when we're looking at the evaluation of how each quarterback played against each team, right? You're talking about two SEC opponents that to me are both in a rebuild or a patch year where they're trying to get better in Mississippi State and Kentucky. I look at it and I say, if Keelan Russell is getting his opportunity, his second start at this point in the season, right? At this point, he's getting his opportunity to get his second start, and they win that game on the road at Mississippi State decisively. Keelan Russell would be named as full-time starter after this game going into the Georgia game. Coach DeBoer did not slip up and say week 5 by accident. He did not say if we need to make a change by week 5. He didn't say that on purpose. He said that on accident is what I meant to say. You reason why you want me to tell you why he said it on accident? Why it was a slip up? It's a conversation that's being had every workout, every throwing workout, every scrimmage. Hey, Mac is doing enough to say that he can, but the consistency is in there. I mean, he's missing on some of these intermediate, some of the things that's setting up the big explosives. If we don't hit these on these pass concepts, we risk the chance of not having a consistent run game. These are conversations that are being had, and they're not crazy conversations to be had. These were the same type of conversations being had around Jalen Milroe going into his second year. But you didn't have a quarterback in the room that made them feel confident enough to go away from Jalen Milroe plan A, plan B, plan C, Jalen Milroe. Ty Simpson didn't prove himself in that year to be able to be plan B. Well, guess what? If Austin Mack isn't plan A, guess what? I think they got a plan 1A, 1B. And if they go to plan 1B, they're not going past plan 1. He's gonna be the new plan A. And I think honestly, when you talk about Keelan Russell, right, he has plan A capability. He is, but for what the roster looks like, the way that it's falling, because his parents chose to conceive at a certain time, right? But not at the same time as, you know what? Is it possible, or am I going to be a year off? I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 years. They're 2 years apart in eligibility, because Austin Mack is a redshirt junior. Keelan is a sophomore. So it's 2 years apart. Both early enrollees. Austin Mack reclassified. And then we also got to remember that Mack is young, man. I don't know why people keep talking as if Austin Mack has so much more experience over Keelan Russell. He doesn't. He's been at the collegiate level, but he hasn't done anything at the collegiate level in any competitive state other than what he did in Indiana. And we know Keelan Russell could have got thrown in and got the same opportunity. But I mean, similar opportunities against ULM, similar opportunities against who else we played? Georgia, was it Georgia State? Was it Georgia or Eastern Illinois last season? So I don't know. I don't get it. But I think it's going to be a great competition. I do think it's going to be a great competition. But Kalen DeBoer definitely slipped up, and he kind of letting us know what the evaluation, maybe not who the starter is, but what the evaluation process of QB1 is going to be. He said, we don't want to utilize a 2-quarterback system. So what's up, Jason? Good to see you in the chat. Good to see everybody in the chat. I'm sorry I got caught up in my topic conversation. Appreciate you for pulling up, Jason. We got Jason in the chat checking in. Bama losing to Georgia this year. Okay, Justin Temples. I don't know why your head look like that. Huh? Welcome in though, man. Appreciate you. Hopefully you're a Georgia fan. We're gonna get you on the phone line tonight. And then who else we got in the chat? I don't think Darius paid his bet yet, so he can't. I don't think we put no comments of his on the stream yet. My boy Hall of Fame Jason said it ain't no competition. It should be Keelan in the story, and that's my thoughts. And that's no disrespect to Austin Mack at all. Keelan is just a generational talent. I even think as good as Elijah Haven is, right? Keelan Russell will end up being the starter this year, right? I think he will be able to produce a 3,500-yard pass this season. I think that'll keep him as a starter, the presumed starter. Austin Mack might transfer and find himself at a Miami with Cristobal. I think that'll be a good fit for Austin Mack, or even with some of the things that's happening at Texas Tech. I even think out west, back with Oregon, would be a great fit for Austin Mack. Like teams like that. Austin Mack is a great quarterback. I think he can help us win a lot of games. But I think when you're talking about how we win, I think Keelan Russell is the true answer to handle the questions for the offensive side in the passing game, what you need from your quarterback, and changing the momentum in the game, being able to be a big playmaker, all of that good stuff. All right, we got Kalen DeBoer done. Let's go through. I want to talk. I'm gonna choose Xavier Brown. Xavier Brown had a different type of energy today. Let's look at Xavier Brown's interview, and then we're gonna go to the Brian Coleman Williams interview. Check it out, y'all. Xavier Brown, SEC Media Day, right here.
Love playing in the SEC. Can't wait for the season.
All right, we'll start over here on the right side with questions.
Hey, Abby Miller with the Reflector at Mississippi State. You've been a starter on this defense since your freshman year. What does it mean to you that coach trusts you enough to execute at such a competitive level?
It means the most that I have, my coach's trust and confidence in me. Allows me to play harder, play faster, and knowing that people got my back.
Go on the second side.
Leo Haggerty, Amped Up Sports Draft Nation here in Tampa. Obviously, at the top of your list are team goals, but what are your individual goals that you set to get that team goal up higher?
For sure, yeah. I just want to be, I'm working on being a great leader every day, making personal connections with guys on the team, on my side of the ball, other side of the ball, and I think that things like that will go a long way for us.
Front row.
Zabian, you've been a part of some of the bigger interceptions in recent Alabama history, notably the interception to beat Georgia in 2024, the pick six against Tennessee at the end of the half, and then another pick six against Oklahoma to tie the game in the college football playoff. Is that something that's always been natural to you, being around the ball at the right time, or is that something that's been coached through you since arriving to Alabama, or even since high school?
Nah, I feel like I'm a natural ball player. I grew up, playing on the other side of the ball, so catching the ball, having the ball in my hands, it's just natural to me. So,
front row.
Georgia Chambers, Fox 5 Atlanta. Similar question to I asked you in the other room. You went up against Georgia twice last year, beating them at home and then losing in the SEC championship game. What challenges does this Coach Smart coach program pose?
They're extremely well coached and disciplined team. We know what they're gonna do. They know what we're gonna do, and it's about who can do it better. And it's about making the play when it's right in front of you, catching the ball when it's in front of you, making the tackle when it's in front of you. So things like when the game comes down to only a few plays, everything's important.
On the second row here.
Hey, Zabin, Cameron Lejeune with WAK out of Montgomery. You guys have a saying a couple years now, length let an naysayer know. There's a lot of people that kind of talk about DeBoer in this program, where it is now after Saban has retired a couple years ago, despite a lot of the success you guys have had with DeBoer. Can you just kind of talk about that and, what the side of guys that, what you guys see from DeBoer in the locker room?
Right. We're not really worried about the outside noise, and I love playing for Coach DeBoer. He's a great person. He's a great leader. Our success is tribute to him, really. And he's just one of those people that you just want to play for. You can't. When he talked before the game, you can't wait to go out there. And so, yeah.
AP, front row.
AP Stedham, AP as we see it. Xavier, what's the story you like to tell about your defensive coordinator, Coach Womack?
Like a specific story.
Something you like to tell people that they should know about him.
Shoot, Coach Womack, he's a great guy, man. He makes a lot of personal relationship with all the players, and we all love him. We all love playing for him. If somebody were to ask me about him, I would just say he's a great guy. He cares a lot about his players, and it makes us play a lot harder.
Left side, third row.
John Eads, WAFB. Xavier, you guys have beaten LSU a couple of years in a row. What does it take to win that game specifically that you guys have done a good job of?
Just playing our game, sticking to our game plan. Every game in the SEC is a rough game. It's a one-score game, and that's how it always is. That's how it always will be, and we look forward to those tough games.
In the back, on the right.
Kay Nagley, Texags. Isaiah Horton transferred to Texas A&M this past season. Can you just talk a little bit about the competition you had with him in practice and what kind of player the Aggies are getting?
Yeah, Zay, he's a great player. He knows me. I know him. We know how each other play. We had a lot of great battles in practice, and I can't wait for that matchup. It's going to be a great night.
Second row.
You know what? Let me pause that. ZB, there was some statements that I was caught wind of during spring ball made by Xavier Brown, the true freshman Jordan Edmonds, Dijon Lee, a couple of the DBs. Jira Edwards was in there, and there was some talk happening during the TikTok. Dre Kirkpatrick. There was some talk happening during the TikTok live, and I commented in the TikTok live, and I said something about Alabama secondary, and Xavier Brown was very vocal about wanting to be the #1 corner going into this draft. Now let's but before we just start talking about like all the hype around profiles and things of that nature, right? Who's getting national media attention? We know Ohio State DBs going to get attention. You 5-star, this was this, that. But let's talk about facts right now. Since their opportunities to be on the field in college football in the secondary, who has been more impactful than Bray Hubbard, 1, and Xavier Brown, 2? Xavier Brown, true freshman starter. Let's remember, Bray Hubbard was a Saban recruit. He came in, didn't play his first, his first 2 years. He really didn't play. He got this. His second year was when Keon Sabb was starting in front of him. He got an opportunity as a sophomore. And I'm telling you guys, I want to highlight this because I don't hear a lot of people mention Xavier Brown when they talk about top DBs in the country. And he literally has, we heard them talk about the big plays that he's made since he's arrived on campus. Same thing with Bray Hubbard, who led the country as far as safeties and creating turnovers, right? Overall turnovers. Second highest graded safety coming in, or the third highest graded safety that's eligible for the draft. And then you round that out with just natural talent like Dijon Lee, who showed up and played big minutes last year, had the #1 pass defensive rating amongst all freshmen, true freshmen who played last season, was number 17 in the country out of all eligible players who played the position. You had 2 DBs and 2 corners in the top 20 of that statistic. So Alabama has true reason to believe that their defense, the no-fly zone idea, is going to be real. And Kane Womack was more excited about the defensive line this spring than I think he was the last 2 years. Kalen DeBoer said something about all the defensive pieces that we added on the interior of the D-line. You could look at the defensive line compared to last year, this year. Everything on that D-line is 6'4" taller right now. I think you might have one in the side figure who's 6'2", but Steve Bowler 6'4", Terrence Green 6'5", 6'6", Tompkins is 6'6", 6'5", Jeremiah Beeman 6'5". All of these big 6'5", 6'6". Jamarian Matthews is on roster this year. I think they're going to probably put him down on that bandit. Like we got a lot of things to look forward to with Alabama's defensive front and everything that's lining up around it. There's no reason why the secondary shouldn't have a crazy, crazy disruptive year and lead the country in creating turnovers, specifically interceptions. I truly believe Alabama has a chance to be top secondary in the country.
Saturday afternoon, Tuscaloosa. You're in the tunnel again, Bryant-Denny Stadium. Field's named after Nick Saban. You see all this crimson all over the place. Still get goosebumps?
Every time. It doesn't fail, man. Being in Bryant-Denny is the best stadium in the world to me. Being recruited, I never went to a Bama game till the first one I played in. And so I love it. I love being there.
Right side, third row.
I know you guys like to say you take it game by game, week by week, but with Alabama having a top 5 defense in the SEC, which other conference team do you see giving you the biggest challenge on the offense side?
Life in the SEC, it's a one-score game every week, every Saturday. So you never know which Saturday, you never know what holds, you know what I'm saying? And They all one-score games. It's all tough, so all going to come down to the fourth quarter.
Second row, and then pass it forward, please.
Can you talk a little bit about Dijon Lee? He was a freshman last year. Now he's going to have a little bit more of a significant role that you've seen from him in practice.
Dijon's a great player. He's grown and matured as a player on and off the field so much since this offseason. I love the way he works. He motivates me. He's God gifted. He's an amazing athlete.
On the front row here.
I asked your teammate Ryan Coleman-Williams earlier about what it would mean for him to be a team captain and what that process would be like for him to become one of the 4 men to have their hand and foot stomped into Denny Chimes after the football season. Is that a personal goal of yours, or are you just specifically focused on being the best defensive back in the country?
I mean, obviously that would be a blessing if that does happen. But as of right now, I'm just focused on how I can get my team better, how I can get myself better, how we can better each other. And so, yeah, I wouldn't say that that's my immediate goal, but, obviously being a part of history would be nice.
On the aisle.
Hey, Xavier. Obviously a lot of reps between you guys in the defensive backfield. Is there still a lot of talk? Is there a lot of communication, or is it pretty much unsaid that, like, we know what everybody else is going to do because you have played together so many times?
One more time.
What is communication
horrible
like
question.
in the defensive backfield?
There we go.
That
There we go. Fix that. Let's figure out who that was. Hold on. We got to go back about 10 seconds.
much unsaid.
The aisle.
Hey, Xavier.
And so, yeah, I wouldn't say that that's my immediate goal, but, obviously being a part of history would be nice.
That was a horrible question.
On the aisle.
What's
Hey,
up, Jeremy?
Obviously a lot of reps between you guys in the defensive backfield. Is there still a
What's
lot
his
of,
name?
Obviously being a part of history would be nice.
On the aisle.
Hey, Xavier. Obviously a lot of reps between you guys
didn't
in the
say his
defensive
name.
backfield. Is there still a lot of talk?
You know
Is
who
there
it
a lot of
sounds like? It sounds like Tony T. But I don't think Tony T even doing nothing for Bama no more. I think he, as much trash as he talked about me getting chased off the Bama space of covering Bama, he over at TDA.
communication, or is it pretty much unsaid that, like, we know what everybody else is going to do because you have played together so many times?
One more time.
What is communication like in the defensive backfield, knowing that you guys have played a lot of reps together? Is there a lot more communication? Is there less?
I would say, yeah, with more trust and the more time we spent together, we've been able to communicate more of being me personally more comfortable of being like, oh, what you see right here? And when you see me this, tell me that, like, and just little things like that, being able to build our trust definitely builds our communication.
Fourth row.
Ellie Malik at SEC.
Hey,
How do
I
you
love
feel being
I love how Zabian just saved that from being a horrible question, because all he could have said, he could have said, compared to where you were as a freshman to now as a junior, how can you say the communication has changed, being that you have teammates that you've been on the field with for a few seasons now?
chosen to represent Alabama here at Media Days this summer?
It's a blessing. I'm extremely excited. I love being here, representing my school, the Script A. It truly means a lot to me.
Go back on the aisle here.
Hey, Zabian, over the course of your time with Ryan, how have you seen him grow as a receiver? Kind of, could you scout your approach, what he does well as a receiver, things like that?
He just continues to get better. Like he's never staying the same, and that's why I admire so much about him, being taking reps against him. Oh, you didn't used to do that, like, you know what I'm saying? And so being able to grow alongside of him is definitely special. I'm extremely blessed to be able to share the field with him for so long.
Two final questions. We'll go here and then come to the front row.
Over your time at Alabama, what's been the most fun or loudest game at Bryant-Denny that you've played in?
My most fun personally was the Tennessee one this last year.
I knew it.
The environment, how loud it is, the cigar smoke afterwards, and going back out on the field and jumping in the stands and just being with my family out on the field after the game. It was an amazing experience.
Front row.
Trevor Denton with Way 31. Just curious, your view of this quarterback competition right now. What are the biggest strengths from Austin and Keelan from going against these guys in practice?
Two amazing guys on and off the field. And they do have different skill sets. They provide different strengths to the offense. You know, Mac, he's not going to make a wrong decision, and Keelan's lightning in a bottle, so really can't go wrong. And I love being around those guys, and I'm thankful to call those guys my teammates.
Xavier, great job as always. Thanks
sir.
very much.
Thank you.
Xavier Brown, everybody. Xavier Brown, everybody. Great. Hey, I tell you what, ZB is one of those guys you feel like he just gonna be successful because he do successful stuff. He carry himself like a professional. He talks with clarity, with like somebody that's been raised right. You get what I'm saying? So great interview with him. Let's go ahead and get Ryan Williams. I know y'all want to see what your boy Ryan had to say. So let's go ahead and get Ryan Williams up on here and see what he had to say. 8 minutes. Let's get it. I'm gonna probably let this one run all the way through.
Trying to make it a good year.
Honestly, you know, just going into this year, my main focus is, you know, just trying to be a consistent guy day in and day out. And, you know, with the work that I put in, you know, obviously the results will show for themselves. So really just being the best version of myself day in and day out for my squad and for myself.
Front row on the aisle.
Ryan, what's the biggest difference that you've noticed in yourself through your growth from your first start against Western Kentucky in 2024 to what will be your first start this year against East Carolina, both on the field and through your mindset? Really just, I mean, with this game, you learn so much, whether that's, you know, what inside zone is, or, you know, just it's so many things that you can learn from this game. So just enjoying the process of learning and, you know, taking everything that I've learned from then until now, and, you know, just being able to move fast because, you know, I've been through the things that I've been through to be able to learn and play at a high pace.
Second row in the end.
Leo Haggerty, Amped Up Sports Draft Nation here in Tampa. Team goals, obviously, at the top of your list. What are your individual goals?
He asking the same question to everybody. I hate when these reporters do that. They have one generalized question that they ask every person. And you know what else? I don't even blame them. I blame the people that watch these people show up every year and let them ask the same freaking question, bro. You just ask that question to I guarantee you we're gonna hear the same guy ask the same question to Bray. We're not watching Bray tonight. We got about 3 more. We got this video, then we'll be closing out. We got the call and show tomorrow, but same question, same whatever. Anyway.
To help get to those team goals?
Honestly, for myself, one of the biggest things that, you know, has always been important to me is, you know, being a team captain for my squad. So I think with that, it just allows me an opportunity to, you know, it's like an extra chip on your shoulder to, you know, just be able to, like I said, be my best self because, you know, obviously, you know, I know the work that I have to put in from now into the first game and even throughout the season. So really just focusing in on that. But I know the individual accolades will handle themselves. So, I mean, I guess I haven't put too much thought into that.
Right side, third row, and then pass the microphone to the right.
Abby Miller with the Reflector from Mississippi State. Compared to your freshman year, last season wasn't the best. Looking back at the previous stats, some people are saying that it's the NCAA cover curse. What do you think about that, and how do you plan to prove these people wrong?
I don't believe in anything like that, but definitely, I mean, there's a lot of distraction whenever you're at the top of your game, or, you know, whenever people feel like you know, you're at the highest of the high. So honestly, just taking all of my experiences, you know, and trying to learn and be my best self, and really just focus on, you know, what got me here, and that's the work. So.
Second row, and then pass it over your shoulder, please.
Nathan King, 24/7 Sports. Wanted to ask you about one of your former Saraland teammates that now joins you in the SEC, Deshaun Spencer. What made him a dynamic player for you guys at Saraland?
Spencer, boy.
Translating for him in the SEC.
You know, just like it just that's what we breed in Saraland. You know, we breed workhorses. You know, we depend on each other, and we go to work day in and day out, and, you know, just focus on the work. And, you know, all of the results will show for themselves, just like they did at the end of his season last year. And, you know, just like they will, you know, in this upcoming season.
They got one coming out of Saraland. Keani Peekaboo. My boy Keani Snipes, man. Y'all better watch out for him. That's my boy. Dino, what's good, my boy? Good to see you, man.
Hey Ryan, Cameron Lejeune, WAK out of Montgomery, Alabama. Can you just talk a little about your freshman season, kind of a phenomenal season, and then last year maybe a little bit down. Can you just talk kind of what have you been doing this off season
I know, Caleb.
specifically to kind of go into this season, a little bit like freshman?
Okay, so my freshman year, everything was, fast paced. I did a lot of learning. So really just taking those things that I did right throughout my freshman year and, taking the things that I could have did better in my sophomore year and taking those things and, just building the best version, the best plan for myself, going into this year and just trying to replicate it day in and day out.
On the left on the aisle.
Yeah, hey Ryan, Evan Kamiko, News 9, Oklahoma City. You guys beat the Sooners last year at the college football playoff at their place. What do you remember what were challenging in that game in Norman last year?
Obviously not starting the game we wanted to. They got out to a early lead. Obviously not allowing that to happen again because they're a very good team, just like all games in the SEC. But, just being resilient and clawing back and, understanding that there's 4 quarters to a game. And, we have to take the positive and the negative from that. And, I mean, you also don't want to be on the other side of that, have a game, pretty much over and then, allow the opponent to do that because we've done that as well. So, just taking all the lessons from that game and, just trying to build on them going into this year.
Third row on the right.
Hey Ryan, Lindsey Bonner, WAKA out of Montgomery, Alabama. There's a lot of talk right now about conference championship games potentially going away. You've had a lot of experience in the SEC championship game. How do you feel about the potential of maybe that being no more?
Honestly, for me, that's higher than my pay grade. But I just love playing football. So any opportunity I get to play football, obviously I would love to do it. And just thinking about growing up and watching the SEC championship, there's been a lot of plays and a lot of amazing moments in that game. So, obviously I would like to play in it, but, it's like I said, it's bigger than me.
On the aisle, then pass it over your shoulder.
Tyler Shaw with KBTX and Bryan College Station. Your former teammate Isaiah Horton, now with the Aggies. Just kind of, what kind of a player is he? What is?
Oh. Did y'all catch the little?
He bring to a wide receiver room? KBTX and Bryan College Station.
I'm gonna see if y'all catch it, or am I just overlooking stuff? Hold on.
Former teammate Isaiah Horton.
Did y'all see the smirk? Is it the same?
Now with the
it's getting a little bit more like grinny.
Yeah, he's just kind of.
As the more he talks, Brian getting a little bit more greeny.
What kind of a player is he? What is?
You see what I'm saying? Like. Yeah, I got something for him.
He bring to a.
I'm gonna tell y'all a story about this in the members only. I'm gonna tell y'all about. You know what? I'm gonna do a members only live, and I'm gonna break down like all the transfer portal rumors and stuff that people were saying about why guys left. I'm gonna just talk about the real. I got the real, y'all.
Man, a lot of energy. He's a high energy guy. I'm super proud of him. The man he's become. Even over just that past year of knowing him. But yeah, he brings a lot of energy. He's gonna make the plays. A consistent guy. He's gonna work day in and day out. And I'm just excited for what he.
I can't wait.
Back on the fifth row.
I can't wait.
Excuse me. Julian Mitchell, WVTM 13 in Birmingham. Ryan, obviously, culminating your name, the number change, you've talked about it a bit, but I'm interested, those changes, the other changes in your life, how that's shaped your perspective as you enter this season on the game and on life.
Really, it just allows me to, focus on what's important to me, just because, I have people in my corner that, have been there the entire time and, have stepped up in ways that, I couldn't even imagine. So really just paying homage to them and, just trying to be my best self this year.
Two final questions will go on the end and they'll come right up front.
Freshman year, you and Jalen Miller were kind of like the dynamic duo on the field. Do you have a similar bond with the quarterback room this year?
I mean, definitely. With, this being my third year and having a different quarterback every year, it's a growth opportunity just because, if I had the opportunity to play in the National Football League, sometimes that might be the case as well. So really just trying to maximize the time that I can spend with my quarterbacks just because, you know, obviously on Saturdays, you know, we're going to need that time put in.
Final question.
Ryan, speaking of the National Football League, I know it's a long way out until the end of the season and time to start making decisions, but have there been any conversations yet between you, your family, anybody in the Alabama program about whether or not you're ready to take that next step to the NFL, or are you planning to take a fourth year in college, or are you going to go straight to the NFL after this season?
I mean, honestly, for me, you know, I've just been focusing on, you know, getting ready for fall camp, if I'm being, you know, just honest about it. But, you know, I get my degree this December, and, you know, that's super exciting for me. So really just focusing in on, you know, this season and get my degree. And then after that, you know, like you said, there will be decisions to be made, but I'm just excited for right now.
Thank you.
Ryan, good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh,
I appreciate
my God.
y'all.
Hey, that boy clean, though. I ain't gonna cap. That boy clean, boy. That boy clean. Y'all give it up for Ryan Williams, man. Give it up for Ryan Williams. That boy clean, man. I like the all white. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know I ain't a super.
Thank you very much.
I ain't a super fan of Ryan Williams.
I appreciate
y'all know. And it ain't that I'm hating on him. I just want the man. I just want the man to be better. He got all this hype around him. It's time to be right. Time to be right. But that's all the reactions we're gonna do tonight. Tomorrow we're gonna be live again. I'm gonna open the phone lines tomorrow. We got some things to break down. I do want to get this clip out though about Kalen DeBoer, and I'm telling y'all, I love when people second guess me in these moments like this. I love when people try to call me out for being like, they be like fake insider and all this. But a lot of storylines and things that I pick up on is because I'm hearing these conversations and I'm literally like watching them happen. And that week 5 point of emphasis is something that I want you all to remember, and how I feel like it's going to play out. You know what? And I'm not wishing nothing bad on Austin Mack. I do think there's a lot of pressure for him to go ahead and be the guy. And he handles it. His countenance handles it in a solid way. But the fact that he wasn't even brought along as a representative for SEC Media Day, that was a telltale sign of who was going to be the starting quarterback last year, right? The last 2 years with Kalen DeBoer and with Jalen Monroe and Ty Simpson, it was kind of a telltale sign who was going to be the starting quarterback. You talk about Kalen DeBoer always mentioning who steps up as a leader. If Austin Mack was the guy, if the Red Shirt Jr. was the guy, he would be at SEC Media Day. In my opinion, it's small things that's telling you that they have a true future plan to have Keelan as the guy, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, Austin Mack can be great in different aspects of the game, but I think you want the best version of your Alabama offense. Keelan Russell is the guy. We're going to get up out of here tonight. Appreciate everybody for pulling up on each platform, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Give it up for yourselves, everybody. Appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight. We'll be live tomorrow. I don't know what time. Just make sure you like, share, subscribe. When you subscribe, make sure you turn your notifications on. And make sure that bell is lit up so you get notifications. We might do a mobile live walk and talk in the morning. Then we might do a call-in show tomorrow night. Friday morning for sure, though. Call-in show. Friday morning, 8 a.m. Friday evening, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm going to get up out of here. I got to get to the gym. Y'all done kept me longer than I was supposed to. Got a training session. But next time y'all see me, man, it will be another vibe. Again, I appreciate y'all. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Y'all be blessed.
Break it down every snap, it's like a coach of the team. Authenticity above all, that's where I stand. If you ain't a real fan, you'll fail with the fan. They tried to box me in, and I keep it though off the frame. Turn the pressure into power, put my stamp on the game. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach, Smook, that's what they saying. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach, that's what they saying.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. And boys over there, look at Deontay.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. What's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.
What's up, bro?
Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide, man.